What's up YouTube, welcome back to the video of the 2020 Africa Twin Adventure Sport. Oh man, I have to tell that I'm loving this motorcycle a lot. I just got a chance to ride this motorcycle for 70 kilometers. 70 kilometers is nothing on this motorcycle. It's like a brilliant tourer. I just fallen in love with the kind of ergonomics this has, the seating comfort. It's on next level from the previous version. Look at the look. Really, I wasn't a great fan of the previous version of Africa Twin. It was like okay for me, but the new headlight setup and the paint scheme has, especially the golden rims and the golden fox, that is giving a brilliant look to this motorcycle. I have to say that if I have to buy this motorcycle and tour on it, I won't be choosing a hotel room for overnight stay. Rather, I'll buy a tent, put the tent over this motorcycle and sleep on this motorcycle. It is that comfortable, man. I mean, look at the seat. It's so comfortable. So this seat is like wonderful. You see, the rider seat is very wide, very long, and the pillion seat is also equally comfortable. So from the previous version, I don't really see a difference in the comfort, but I see a lot of difference from the engine because it's a new engine. It has crossed that liter class mark and it sounds beautiful. Definitely I'll be taking a ride out so you can hear it. Exhaust sound is different. You can feel that rumbling noise. It doesn't require a aftermarket exhaust. It's not at all silent, but if you're putting a slip on or something like that, that will be brutal because that twin cylinder irregular firing order, that is giving a too good feel on it. And this motorcycle is getting a lot of attention inside city or on the highway because the headlights and everything looks very neat. It's very distinguishable from a distance itself. So this is the 2020 Africa Twin Adventure Sport. So I was thinking, what is this Adventure Sport? I can understand what is adventure, it's right in front of me, but what is sport? Is it sporty? Because after riding it, I don't feel like more sporty than the previous version. So Adventure Sport is like the adventure is still there and you have all the electronics and the packages from a sports bike. It's like you have everything like cruise control, riding modes, traction control, wheelie control, cornering, ABS, generally what you see in sports bike, liter class sports bikes. So that's why it is called an adventure sport. And when it really comes in handling this motorcycle, it's like way comfortable for me because I believe that the 2017 version of Africa Twin which I rode was a DCT and this is a manual one. After coming onto this, I love shifting the gear. So when the DCT is out of this, it's like very light. The best part about Africa Twin, what I feel is like after riding few adventure motorcycles, is that you will feel home quite quickly. I was riding my 650R and I just got onto it. I was finding difficult when I was taking it out of the stand, like pushing it on to that normal posture. After that, it's like normal bike. I was riding as if I was riding it for a long. It's that easy, it's that simple and agile, and you can control it very nicely. That's what I told. It feels home. You don't really have to do a lot of groundwork on ADV motorcycles to come and ride an Africa Twin. I have ridden Versus and Multistrada. Just got a small chance to ride an 1250 GS. Based off all those motorcycles, I feel even riding a Tiger 800, I feel Africa Twin is more light. I have to say it's more beginner friendly to ride when you are not onto this kind of a segment itself. I don't say truly beginner friendly, don't get me wrong, thinking that you can just upgrade from a 150cc motorcycle because the power is like brutal on this. So let's get into the motorcycle. And fabulous thing about these tires are like these are spoke wheels with tubeless tires, which is like good. It's the best of both worlds. You have spoke wheels and you have tubeless tires. I believe previous version didn't have that thing. The only problem I had faced when I was jumping from a sports motorcycle to this was taking it out of the stand. Let me get onto it. So yes, now yeah, it's a bit heavy now, and it's a tall motorcycle in my standards because I'm not that tall guy. From this angle, it's like beautiful. I was cruising on this motorcycle at 160. It feels like 60 only, but it was in 160. I'm pretty sure whole day long you can ride on 160s. Even I pushed into 200 plus kilometers in the fourth gear, but the road wasn't clear, so I have to cut it off. So from this angle, yes, the ADV motorcycle feels come in because it's very wide and the handlebar is wide, and primarily your butt feels more comfortable. And this is an adjustable windscreen, so I've set it to the max because previously it was on the lowest setting, and with my line of sight, this portion of the visor was directly on that, so I was feeling some disturbance. So I just put it on the maximum setting, and it was giving perfect comfort for me in 160s, 170s, no problem. I even did a corner at 160. Last time I was on that speed on a long sweeping corner was on my own CBR 650. I mean, I never thought that I can do that easy on an ADV motorcycle. I'm really scared to dive into the corner with an ADV because sports you can do that, ADVs are not like that. So let's get into this. This is not a comparison between an ADV and a sports bike. So turning on the key, yeah, it takes some time to show the Africa Twin graphics and show that beautiful screen. So rider is responsible for safe. Okay, you have to click OK, or you have to enter it here. So basically it's a touchscreen. It's touchscreen and you can control it here also. Basically you have 4 riding modes. You can swap it using these buttons, up and down. So off-road, user 1, user 2, tour and urban. So if you see, there are a few details here, like the power, engine braking and the traction control. So power has 4 modes, like P1, P2, P3, P4, where P1 is the most powerful and P4 will be the least powerful. So let me put on to the touring mode. Yeah, in tour mode you have maximum power P1 and engine braking 2 E2 and 6th level of traction control. So when you turn it on to user mode, user 1 and 2 is like, it is up to you, you can set it whatever you want. And the off-road mode is like, so you have control on the power and the traction control. And when it comes to the gravel, it says that the ABS is off. So the rear wheel ABS will be off, the front wheel ABS is always on. So in gravel you have the least power, it is like P4, traction control in level 6. So that's it with the riding modes, and you have a whole lot of information on this. This is the tachometer and this is the speedometer. You can see the speed over here also. I'll tell you why it is. I mean, it's just a guess, but I'll tell you why it is. So this is the gear position indicator here, and here you can see that total kilometer also. So you can connect your Apple iPhone with this. So Honda has nicely dissed the Android users, no problem, but let's continue with the review. So when you connect the Apple phone, the Apple CarPlay, you can see stuff here. So probably when you are riding based on the map or something, then I believe you won't be able to see the speed. That's why you need this indication here. So speed and gear position and the total kilometer is duplicated here, so that when you connect the Apple iPhone here, you can see stuff here and rest of the important things here. So let's look into the handlebar switches and all. So these 2 buttons are will help you to take it through all the modes, urban modes or whatever mode it is, or you can click here also, it will change. So this is the touch screen way, and it works with gloves also. So this is enter, this is back button, and these 2 are forward and reverse play buttons. What you see on music systems, I believe you can use it while connecting Sena or your Apple phone. And over here again you have phone connectivity switches, like the call answer switch, and there's the function key. So this is the high beam and low beam and all those switches, and the pass switch is also here. High beam like this and low beam like this, and the pass is like this. And here you have the indicator switch and the horn switch and the hazard lamp switch. On coming on to the right side, so this is the engine kill switch. So just turn it on, you'll hear that sound. After that, what you need to do is generally we long press it to get the motorcycle running, right? On this one is like just one press, that's it. Yeah, I know I killed the fun, but I'll take you through the exhaust note very soon. Okay, let me go through the switches first. So this is the cruise control switch. So I'll show this thing when we go out for the ride. So let's look into the engine. So in the tour mode, it is like brutal, man. It feels like a sports motorcycle. So I'm gonna switch it on. It has that grunty exhaust note. If you're used to 2-cylinder motorcycle, you might be thinking that, oh, this is not the 2-cylinder that I used to hear. It is like taka taka taka, but this feels very different. It has an irregular firing order. It is not very evident when it is idling, but when it moves on to the high RPMs and all, it feels so sweet. Okay, let's go for the ride. So it's in gravel mode now. I really don't want to show my off-roading skills over here, because it's very natural that you drop off-roading motorcycles, but I really don't want to drop it, because it's not that something will happen to the bike, but I will find it difficult to pick it back. So that's why I'm not trying to do any fancy stuff. Oh man. So let me put this on to the urban mode for now. So you can change the settings when you're riding also. So it's in urban. Let's pull it hard. What you have seen is like the urban mode, which is one of the nicest mode on road. You have the touring mode also, which is the most powerful one. So in urban mode, it is more linear. It's in tour mode now. Let's pull it hard. I was redlining in the first 3 gears. I was knowing that, man, this is like next level thing. I really don't want to risk myself by turning off the anti-wheelie, because I'm pretty sure that this will pull a wheelie easily this has started showing that liter class big bike feel, in fact, from the engine side. But the best part about this motorcycle is the agility. Like, very cool, very natural to ride on this motorcycle. It doesn't require a lot of stamina. In fact, you can use that stamina for riding long. And the suspension on this motorcycle is set a little onto a harder side. I don't say that it's completely harder, but I know that this can be set to more softer also, because I've ridden the previous versions. So what I believe is that now it is set onto something semi-tight and all, because this gives a good feel while cornering as well as on top speeds. Because I told that I took a corner at 160. I can't believe it. I was on 160. I didn't thought of cutting my throttle. I mean, long sweeping corner, I just took it very easy. And the bigger wheels is giving a lot of comfort. I mean, you shouldn't ask about comfort when it comes to adventure motorcycles, okay? Be it any adventure motorcycle, you shouldn't ask that at all. But what I feel is that you can go to the dictionary, add synonyms to the word comfort, like Africa Twin, Multistrada versus GS 1250 and all. Okay, open road. Till the 170, 180, I was completely under this wind pocket. Yeah, I know that I was leaning a bit forward, but it wasn't because of air resistance. I was doing it because the power is more. Main thing which I'm missing from this motorcycle is the ES. So if you have read about this motorcycle in the international magazines and all, it was having an ES, electronic suspension. When I was reading that particular magazine, I was feeling that this is the pinnacle of adventure motorcycles. This came in without the ES, electronic suspension. But if you are not aware of what electronic suspension is like, when you change the riding mode, your suspension will automatically get changed. Man, what a wonderful feature it is. It's like you don't have to make your hands dirty at all. I'm not telling that I'm that kind of a software guy who runs on the highway, don't want to get my hands dirty and all. But what I'll tell is that have that feature here, man. Why should you ditch the ES when it comes to India? I mean, I was reading about it and I was so much impressed. Like, when you change the riding modes, it just get adjusted to the road. And at times it has a dynamic suspension setup where it itself has a method to identify the road condition and it changes by itself. I mean, like, what the man? I have heard about this on the BMW S1000RR few years before. So Honda India, if you are watching this, please try to bring in an ES version with the premium price tag. No problem, if the premium price tag is there. I'm not telling that I'll be going and buying it out, but we will get a chance to ride it and tell this to other people how good it is or how bad it is. No problem at all. But at least we'll get to experience how that thing was. So let's come back to the motorcycle topic. So to talk about the brakes are like excellent. I had a chance to brake a little hard because one guy just jumped out of the road. So I was expecting it always. So I saw that and I was able to control the motorcycle very well. I told that this motorcycle is very nimble. That's why the braking bite is like too hard, okay? Don't compare it with an S1000RR or a 5-blade or an R1. Looking from an adventure motorcycle series, the braking bite is like very good. And if you ask me if there is any other negative apart from not having the ES, one thing I'll tell is that it's a nitpicking. I don't have to really concentrate on that. One thing what I wanted to tell is that if you look at the windscreen, when I just got into this motorcycle, I was facing a little difficulty to look through the windscreen because it's almost like what you see on mirrors, like objects in the mirror are closer than they appear or something. But it feels that what you see through the mirror is little magnified or slightly distorted. So I was facing a problem when I was seeing the whole of a picture. But when I started concentrating through the visor, I'm okay, I'm comfortable now. But when I just got into this motorcycle, I was feeling a little uncomfortable. So I know that it's a nitpicking. What a machine, man. I think I forgot to mention about the cornering lights. So these are cornering lights, so whenever you dip into the corner, these lights will tilt towards that corner to give you a better visibility. I believe every motorcycle should have this feature of cornering lights. Man, this looks damn good. So it has options obviously for the pannier setup and all. So these are pannier locks. You might need the pannier racks for this to keep it, and here you can have that top rack setting, that base plate, and then you can have the top box also. I mean, seriously looking good as well as purposefully fabulous motorcycle. I really don't have anything else to say. So when it comes to riding on city, what I believe is that it is not so hard to ride it. I'm talking about city because you might not directly get into the highway that quick. So sometimes you have to ride it in the city to get onto the highway. So in that scenario, it's not that difficult to ride. So Bangalore showroom has given this opportunity to ride this motorcycle on this beautiful highway. And this motorcycle comes for 19 lakh on road, this version as such, without DCT. With DCT it is 20 lakh, so it's up to you when you're looking at the competitor. I'm yet to ride the Tiger 900. I hope I can ride one, but I've ridden the Multistrada and the Tiger 1200, 800. In my opinion, this is more lighter. Just give it a try if you want a lighter motorcycle. Not everyone will be pleased by the looks of this motorcycle, so more than looks, just give it a try on riding it. Sometimes you'll like it, if not, you have enjoyed a different motorcycle, that's all. And secondly, this motorcycle is claimed to have a mileage of around, with a tank capacity of 25 litre, you will probably have a tank range of more than 500 km, which is absolutely good for long distance touring. And this motorcycle goes service once in 6,000 km, and you can say around 5,000 to 6,000 rupees per service, which is like free service. So I don't know about the paid service things. So for the first service, which is a free service, costed around 6,000 rupees. And don't take it as a review and all, it's just a first ride experience from my side, because if you have to judge this kind of a motorcycle, you have to take it for 1 or 2 days, that too on highways, off roads. This is the first ride impression from me, and I hope you like this video. If you like the video, you know what to do. Show some love in the form of likes and comments. See you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.